Hey guys, welcome to 6 Minutes for Monday, October 31st. Happy Halloween to everyone. And isn't it appropriate that the day that we all go and try to grab candy is first day of practice for, I think it's North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. So welcome back to high school season for those three states. Alabama and Georgia are chugging along. They're already in a weekend. And I think Florida kicks off next week. So, we're ready for the season to start. And a couple things to touch on before I get to my conversation with Fat and Scrappy's Lucas Da Silva as it relates to the Georgia 6A and 7A top 10, preseason top 10. So, also, college wrestling started off this past weekend in the NAIA, and we had some matches down in South Florida. I already talked about those on Friday, but we also got to see Southeastern and St. Andrews go at it on Friday night. It was fantastic to watch that as well. Southeastern looks super tough, and anxious to watch those programs go through their season and see how they end up at the end. Southeastern's currently ranked third in the NAIA, so is top level. But probably the big thing from this past weekend is the preseason nationals for USA Wrestling that occurred out in Des Moines, Iowa. A lot of wrestling, and we had some really good wrestling from the kids or the athletes from the Southeast, from the Dirty South. So let's go ahead and jump into that. And let's talk about the girls first. We've got Genevieve On. I'm so sorry, Genevieve. Second at 152 from Georgia. Valerie Solorio was third from Florida, was third at 100. Reagan Riddick came in sixth at 117. She's from North Carolina. And Sofia Delgado was fifth at 138, and she's also from Florida. So, Genevieve made a run all the way to the finals before dropping her finals match there at 152. Val, I've heard lots of different things about Val, whether she was back in Pennsylvania, whether she's back in Florida. She was listed on the thing as being from Florida, so she is included here. I would love for somebody to just send me a direct message, let me know if Val is back competing in Florida this season or if she headed back up to Wyoming Sem. Anyway, really, really good bounce back tournament for Reagan Riddick, who made the podium. Congratulations, Reagan. And Sofia Delgado. Boy, I think she just adds another one to her trophy case or her medal stand or whatever you want to call it. I know she was champ at Grappler Fall Classic. I don't remember how she did at Super 32. I think she wrestled pretty well. And now fifth here at preseason nationals. So congratulations to the four of them. And now we switch gears and let's head over to the 9th and 10th graders where there were some fantastic matches and we had some hammers. We had some runs to the title, specifically 3 from the Southeast. Will Anderson, from Alabama, who took first at 132. Elvis Solis from South Dade in Florida was first at 138. And Robbie DeHaven from Woodward Academy here in Georgia was first at 170. All 3 of them won a 9th, 10th grade national title at preseason nationals. Fantastic job. Congratulations to all 3 of them. As you can see from the list of others, Max MacArthur from Georgia was third at 126. His only loss came to TJ Verrett in the semifinals at 126. Thomas Johnson, South Carolina, was sixth at 132. Cy Fowler fell in the finals, took second at 152. Really good run for Mr. Fowler. Krieg Rowe, a cast wrestler, and we'll see another cast wrestler here in just a bit, fourth at 160. Tyson Russell from Tennessee, third at 195. Dre Butler from Georgia was second at 220. And Chris Belmonte from Lake Highland Prep in Florida was second at 285. Really, really good run by the Southeast wrestlers, the 9th and 10th graders that made their way up there. There were a lot of other wrestlers from the Southeast who also wrestled extremely well. didn't make the podium, but fought really hard and everything else. Again, a good measure of kind of where you stand. I think we all know it's not Super 32, and it's not that level of competition, but it's a tough preseason tournament, and getting tougher every single year, as you can see from this past year. There were some absolutely fantastic matches, and some really good wrestling going on. All right, let's switch gears, go over to the 11th and 12th graders, the juniors and seniors, who made the podium. And as you can see from this long laundry list of Southeast wrestlers who make the podium, we had a pretty good weekend up in Des Moines for the juniors and seniors, especially Christian Vasquez of Doral Academy in Florida, who took home the 113-pound title, and Giannis Charles from South Carolina. So happy to see him back in South Carolina. He will be back at Clover High School this season, and he took first at 145. Really good runs by both of them. We also had some other really good runs, some to the finals, some very close to the finals, but really good runs. And let's go through that real quick. Lee Camp, that other cast wrestler from Georgia, 7th at 106. Elijah Lowe came in 6th at 113. One of, a bunch of Lake Gibson kids to make the podium. Fantastic job there. TK Davis of Rockmart out in Georgia was 2nd at 120. Ryan Phillips, a Winter Springs wrestler, and again, another one of several Winter Springs wrestlers to make the podium, was 3rd at 132. Johnny Maldonado, another one of those Lake Gibson wrestlers, 7th at 145. A really good weight class, tough weight class at 145. Kendrick Hodge, Somerset Academy, was 3rd at 152. Elijah Penton, 3rd at 170. Omer Barak was 5th at 170. Jace Brownlow was 6th at 170. Joshua Maldonado was 8th at 220. And Matthew Thompson from Tennessee was 5th at 285. All really good wrestlers. All some really good performances out in Des Moines this past weekend. Trying to condense this down, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. But, those are your All-Americans for preseason nationals. And I hope you stick around and now check out my conversation with Fat and Scrappy's Lucas Da Silva as we talk about two of the best classes in the state of Georgia, 7A and 6A, and who are his top 10, or he thinks are the top 10, as we head into the season. You guys take care. All right. Lucas Da Silva.
Jason Fulmore.
You doing okay, man?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. All right, let's talk a little bit 7A, 6A.
Yes, sir.
All right. And before we get to any changes, right, a lot's happened in the fall, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of had the biggest impact on you?
So obviously there were results. I mean, we had, like, I'll be talking about this on my website. You had Super 32 qualifier, the Grapper Fall Classic. You had some battlers from Georgia at Elite 8. You then also had, of course, Super 32 this past weekend, which I had the honor of being on the mic for. You had Cars Category 5. You had a lot of little tournaments where we'd hear of a matchup here or there. And then you just see teams going to work. I mean, you give an example. I know it's not 7A, but Seckinger every other day is posting wrestling practice footage.
Yeah,
so teams are getting in the room. You got North Gwinnett in the workout room a lot, and it's exciting to see because it's that time of year again when you get the butterflies. And as a media guy now, it's fun because I'm just thinking of the tournaments I know of where I know, oh, God, we're going to see them and them go at it in the late November, early December. So it's an exciting time of the year for sure for us in the media.
All right. No, it is, because this is the preview, kind of the hype, trying to get ready for it, that sort of thing. So let's take a look at 7A, right? And this is the new 7A.
Yes, sir.
Right? Preseason. So I think, I guess the best way to do this is in looking at it based upon last year, or based upon
the
your
pre-preseason,
right? Buford, Camden, North Paulding, no change.
Nope, same. Points are a little, if I'm not mistaken, Camden dropped a single point. That was just in watching some results from across 7A. I think North Paulding caught a little bit, as well as North Paulding went up 0.3 points. I think Buford stayed about the same. We see an emergence of a DJ Clark coming in, wrestled fantastically this summer from what we've seen. I can't wait to see him at 106, which then also brings into question How's their lineup going to look? So there's a lot going on, but the actual top three is still the same. The Wolves, the Wildcats, the Wolfpack.
All right, and then we see Mill Creek vault to 4, and obviously Mill Creek makes that vault because Blue Stifler moves in, right?
Antonio Mills.
The Mills boys,
yes.
Although we're still a little uncertain about their eligibility or not.
I've heard questions as well, but from everything I've been told from sources that I'd consider more official, they will be wrestling in the fall. But again, I have heard, you know this, and people at home, and you know a lot of people, you'll catch every rumor that gets thrown out.
No doubt.
You'll hear everything. I heard as a matter of about last weekend, I heard that Bambinelli was on the move, which he, of course, is not, but you hear all the rumors.
Yeah,
so,
everybody wants to talk about something.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm ranking this, of course, with the Mills until I see an official word that they are not eligible. I am ranking them as if they are eligible. Mill Creek will be a very formidable team in 7A, 0.3 points behind the North Paulding Wolfpack, and that's only due to the fact that we know what you have. Grappler Fall Classic champions Dominic Bambinelli. You have Antonio Mills, Fall Classic champion and Super 32 All-American. You have Amonte Mills. We know you have Blue Stifler, who's a killer in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
I've named 4 wrestlers.
Yeah.
I need to see the rest. And that's not a negative. I just need to see them when they hit the regular season. Have they made the same kinds of jumps before I put them over a team like the Wolfpack, who returns everybody? We've seen them wrestle this preseason and wrestle and compete really well. You got a guy like a Colin Mullins who knocked off Maddox MacArthur at the Super 32 qualifier. Yeah. I need to see, does everybody make that same kind of jump for Mill Creek before I put them in that top 3, for sure.
So we've got Lowndes, Archer, and Brookwood, and they were in a little bit different order.
Yep.
Obviously, Brookwood takes that step back because the Mills aren't there.
Yes.
Right? And that kind of moves Lowndes a little bit up, Archer a little bit up. So pretty much what we expect,
I think those are mid-table teams that will fight hard, and they're not going to be an easy out at duels. They won't be an easy out in individuals, obviously. If you catch Brookwood in a dual meet, Lowndes or Archer in a dual meet,
still good kids,
you're going to have to be ready to toe the line. You're going to have to answer the bell. So I'm excited to see. I think Archer is young, and I think that they may have the most of this group, the highest ceiling, because they are young still, and we don't know how all their guys are yet.
Yeah.
You look at a Lowndes, they'll be graduating a lot this year. Same to Brookwood, a lot of their starters will be seniors. So I'm excited to see that mid-table group, though, how that goes.
So what's the biggest change?
For me, it would be obviously Colquitt County. As of the last rankings, they were at a 6 flat. Once we found out that it was confirmed that Little Paradise was gone, they dropped from 6.0 and in 8th position. They dropped from that all the way down to 4.7 points and 11th out of the top 10, which opened the door for the Cherokee Indians to come into the top 10. And it's not out of a diss to Colquitt, just when a guy like Logan Paradise is a focal point of your squad, and he's so important for you in individual, gaining individual points. In the matrix I have, 5 and 5, their dual points stayed nearly the exact same, because at the end of the day, you could only represent 1/14 of your dual.
Right.
But individually,
26, 27, 28 points in a freaking traditional.
And in a traditional setting where we've seen it that the top 5 teams have their points, and then once you hit 6th, 7th, and 8th, teams are finishing with 70 points, 75 points, 80 points, 60 points.
Right.
That 26 is vital. That is the difference of multiple placement points.
Correct.
So that's how that...
It can be. Unless you're like Camden in the last few years where they're way ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, but either way,
So let's, very quickly, before we shift to 6A, let's go ahead and, the last time you did the preseason, Coach Wilder kind of told us that his team wasn't going to be that good, and I don't think anybody believes that.
I don't believe it.
I mean, look at who they have on the squad. Look who their freshmen are coming in. How close do you think Camden is to Buford, or are they even maybe better?
I think I think it's razor close. I think the only thing is we've seen more out of Buford so far, in the sense of
what they bring in. We don't know.
Not even. No. They wrestled a lot in the preseason. So we saw DJ Clark. We saw how Maddox Gorman, you got Kieran McCormick and Connor McCloskey, who I had on my radar, but until this summer, Kieran McCormick going to Super 32 and battling the way he did. Connor McCloskey going to Elite 8 duels and putting up some fights.
Well, Hudson Danielson went up to Grappler.
I forgot about Hudson as well, an All-American. Shout out to Brent Danielson and Hudson. I love that family. I forgot about him. So we've seen them. Camden is, choose my words carefully, more selective in the events that they wrestle.
They are.
Because they like hide. I mean, I mean, making sure they want to be real strategical in their lineup. Yes, I said that on purpose, Jess. Yes, I did. And I don't blame them for it. Obviously, Camden are dynastic. They're a fantastic team in the state of Georgia and in the Southeast, so I can't be mad at it, obviously.
Well, and I saw them down at the Florida Super 32 qualifier.
I did not.
So
that,
yeah. And so they had 11 in the field. Conlon and obviously the Lil Wilder and so on and so forth. Bradley, Bradley,
of course,
Patterson down low. Super good team. I'm really interested. I just can't wait until those teams kind of cross paths. So it's going to be fun.
And I want to directly address Coach Wilder here, and I address him as someone that likes him. We've had a lot of fun conversations. You know damn well you're not the fourth best team in 7A. You know you're not. You said that to annoy me personally. I know you did, Jess. I'm pointing at you because I love you. You know better than that. As if we were going to believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody was going to believe that.
Not one person.
Let's shift to 6A. And as I take a look at the top three in 6A, they remain the same.
Yep.
Brunswick, Jackson County, and South Paulding. Lasser is fourth, right?
Mm-hmm.
North Forsyth fifth. Now you got Woodward. You put Woodward above Lee County.
Yes, I did.
So what did you see from Woodward maybe in the preseason that
saw a couple results and saw some guys get after it in the Red Storm gear with Woodward club coaches, in the corner.
Well, although you could hear Coach Reagan.
Yeah, no, you could hear him. You could hear him, but obviously not in the corner. I like what I saw them. They looked like the same kind of. They looked like Woodward of 2-3 years ago in the style, aggressive, pushing forward, good pace, good cardio. Obviously, you're going to be well trained with Jeff Reagan and your coaching staff. So for me, I liked what I saw out of them. They moved up a couple points in the matrix. They're only 1 point. They're only 10th of a point ahead of Lee County.
Really, no difference.
Yeah, very make-upable, if that's a word. It is today for the Trojans of Lee County. Just in the moment, I felt that they earned a couple points for sure.
And to be fair, like we saw Spalding from Ohio, who now is at Woodward Academy.
Of course, that's going
to make a difference. So,
I will say before, I did not rank with him in there. I only found out about that a little bit more recently, so that will play more into the mid-season. I did not know that he was. This is again like the Mill situation where I did my rankings and then I found out that the move was made. So, pardon me, Mr. Spalding, you will be included in these next sets of rankings. I just was uninformed.
All right.
I'm being honest, that's me. I didn't have my information.
Well, and to be fair, right?
Nobody did.
I mean, there's a lot of rumors. I mean, confirming different things.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
It's tough because it's tough sometimes until I get anything official. I'm gonna be the last one to jump on something. I've always admitted that because I just don't want to jump on.
I'm the last person.
Well,
you'll be the second.
Yeah, I'll be second last. Fair enough.
All right. So Blessed Trinity and Noonan kind of are 8 and 9, and they were last year.
Yep.
You replaced Etowah with veterans.
Yes, I did.
And is that because of Latrell Schaefer? Yes. A single individual.
Well, individual points. When I re-ranked them after seeing his individual performance went up a little bit, it's a 0.3 point difference, and I believe Latrell's performance as well as just in general looking at veterans and the way they've been working out, seeing some of their practices, guys going to Storm. I think they jumped nearly a full half point. They were very close. I'm not saying.
I think they were super close.
So
Previously.
either it's not necessarily a change. It's more just Latrell has reemerged. Like, we in the Southeast knew, but he's emerged on the national scene now. He is now a national brand. When you watch him wrestle now, it is different coaches watching him.
Yeah.
When I was watching Super 32, yes, you saw your Browns.
Or you're calling the Elite Eight and he's beating Ladarius.
No, that too. But when we went to Super 32, I was getting to watch how Virginia Tech, Ohio State, Michigan coaches were watching his matches now. So it's a different thing now. So I feel like veterans, Latrell has rightfully so been now entrenched in the national scene, which is where he should have been for a long, long time.
All right. So that is 7A and 6A.
Yes, sir.
And a few changes, not a ton.
Nothing major.
And we'd love to hear your comments.
I know I'm getting one Facebook response.
Now, the season is here.
Yes, it is.
The season is here. So